When have you ever heard a black person talk about a white president like some of us are talking about Mr. Trump? Just think. I don't care how no good Lyndon Johnson and all of them others were. They never heard no black person talk about a white president like that. Mr. John Lewis said this man is illegitimate, and they gave him top news billing. Listen now, white folks listening too. What did that nigga say? Our man is illegitimate with 62 million votes and 307 electoral college votes. He's illegitimate. He's illegitimate because he's not crooked Hillary, but she's legitimate. You're really sick. My dear sister Maxine Waters, great sister of ours, she came out strong. He's on a fast track to being impeached. White folk listening. What did I say 2 years ago? He's peeling back the skin of the onion of white civility. That's what I said. I said, if you vote for him, you'll be on your way to hell in a rocket ship. Now look at the breakup of America and the breakup of the Western world. The white man is going down. His time to rule is up. You can take it or let it alone. Have you ever seen so much confusion among people of so-called intelligence? Listen to the talking heads on TV. They're messed up. When the heads of state and government are confused, that's a sign that they can't rule anymore. Too confused to rule. So what are you going to do? Well, I'll wait until it sorts itself out. It's not going to sort itself out. Look at this. Please, please. Did Mr. Trump and the Republicans say that the Russians hacked the campaign and rigged it for Trump? Isn't that what they're saying now? Now, General Flynn, he was going to be the head of Homeland Security. Security. And now he's on the phone talking to Russia. Don't worry about those sanctions that black Obama put on you all. Soon as we get in, it's be a little difficult, but we'll manage it. They ain't showing you the transcript yet, have they? What's he talking about? Our children? I have a baby and you... No, they're talking about those sanctions. And that is illegal to promise I said, oh, Yemen wasn't in the original. No. It wasn't in the original 7 that they were going to overthrow. Sudan, Libya, Iran, Iraq, Syria, Somalia, and there's one more. You check it out. If I'm wrong, I'll come back and say so. But Yemen wasn't in it. Yemen is a recent entry into the equation. Yemen wasn't no problem for America when we went there, brother. You and I visited that place. Didn't we go there? Didn't we meet with the president of Yemen? He was in the hip pocket of the American government at that time. It wasn't Yemen. Remember, this was planned over 20 years ago. It's real. Check it out. But I thank you. No, I really thank you. But I know that Yemen wasn't a part of the original conspiracy. Not at all. And while you mention Yemen, you know when we were there, how well we were treated by the Yemeni people. In fact, to you Muslims, did you know that the minister went to Mecca? And I was taking Umrah at the same time that the Crown Prince was taking Umrah? Did you know that I stayed, it was during Ramadan, and when the young people heard that Farrakhan, I was sitting up where the king sits. Now they call me a fake Muslim. Where the hell do you sit when you go? On a damn toilet in the floor. And y'all better leave me alone. If you don't know what the hell a real Muslim look like, keep your mouth clear of what you say about me. You might wake up and find out that you're the fake Muslims. Alhamdulillah. I believe those that killed Kennedy and those that assassinated Lincoln and the base government that's under the real government are weighing Mr. Trump. Because if they can't control him, they usually will move to kill what they can't control. Do you follow me?
Yes, sir.
He's not being controlled right now. Did you see him the other day with Bibi Netanyahu?
Yes, sir.
And Bibi is smiling,
Smiling.
and Donald is looking serious. Bibi is like a boa constrictor that is curled around the president.
Go ahead.
I hope you're listening, my dear president. Because if you follow Netanyahu, you could have been the lull before the storm. But if you do what Netanyahu and the Zionists want you to do, you'll be in the war in a short time. I think it's time for me to wrap this up.
That's the original list.
Show it to Akbar. I was right, it was Lebanon. No, wait a minute. It's his right as my brother, if I make a mistake, to correct me. And if I am as good a brother as I hope to be, I'll stop and take the correction and make the correction, because nobody should stand up and start lying or making mistakes in front of the people and be unwilling to say I'm sorry. Have you noticed how Vice President Pence seems to be the quiet knight that makes Trump's policies look sane? He's masterful. But Trump is the boss. Now, Russia did not put Trump there. And to you Democrats, you're so racist. You can't let Barack's Affordable Care Act be. We're going to repeal it, rip it up. We're going to rip up the agreement with Iran. Hold it, Trump. Back up a minute.
That's right.
See, this is why partisan politics is killing democracy. This is all over the Caribbean. Anytime the opposition party does something good and you come to power, you undo what was good.
That's right.
That's stupid. No country is less than the party that wins the election. If the Republicans won the election, that don't mean that's America.
That's right.
If the Democrats win, that's not America. America is when both of you sit down and look at what's best for the country and correct the Affordable Care Act. If it's weak, fix it. But you don't even want Barack Obama's legacy to remain.
That's right.
And while I'm on legacy, I gotta say something about Fidel Castro.
Yes, sir.
Fidel Castro may have done, yeah, that's my brother. He loved Farrakhan,
That's right.
and Farrakhan loved him. And he offered me scholarships. He offered me eye surgeries for cataract removal. And all he wanted was those who wanted to become doctors to come to Cuba and get your doctor's degree and then go back to your community and serve your people. That's all he wanted. Where's my granddaughter, Mariam? Where? Way up high? Is that you, Mariam? Where's Rakaya? Oh, right there. They're in Cuba right now. They got 2 or 3 more years and they'll be doctors. They've been there 4 already. Of course, come on. One of my helpers told me that Michael Flynn resigned. I saw the same news that you did. I wasn't talking that he was still there. The point was he was a general that was going to be used in homeland security for us. But he was on the phone with Russia. That's what I was getting over to you. They're going to force the transcript of the conversation to ultimately be released. And I know he was talking about sanctions. The question is, who knew what when? Is he, as Homeland Security, contacting the Russians without Trump's knowledge? Then if Trump told him, go ahead and tell him, I'm going to bust this up as soon as possible. Well, they'll be looking at all of that. But what is it doing? It's breaking up the house. Can't you see it? Can't you feel it? Now, where was I? Down in Cuba. Now, Fidel passed away. I wanted to go down and pay my respect to a man who's done so much, not just for Cuba, but for the whole world. For medicine, for agriculture, for science, and showing you how to evolve a revolution. Now, Fidel, they say, does not want a statue to him. He does not want his picture prominently displayed. Doesn't want streets named after him. And I respect his wishes, but I don't agree. And I intend to write President Raul and tell my brother, see, one of the ways that they destroy a movement is they kill the leader and bury the leader so that succeeding generations will know nothing about the great work that that man did. I'm with Brother Comandante not to be an object of worship, because some of us are so silly. And if any of you are dumb enough to worship Farrakhan, I have to pray for you. I am not worthy to be worshiped. Only God. Listen. Some of you are so filled with the spirit of idolatry. You see people who are doing great things and we are loved. There's nothing wrong with loving a person that has done good for you, but it is wrong to worship a person who does good for you and they're not God. I was born, I live, I will die. But the good that God has blessed me to do, you can't bury that in no coffin with me. What you bury with me is flesh. It came from the earth, it returns to the earth. And you know,
Allah loves you, brother minister.
I am well aware of that, brother, or I wouldn't be here now. But my point is to disabuse foolish people of worshiping what does not deserve to be worshiped. Jesus never told Christians to worship him. My dear Reverend, he told you, follow me, but worship God. The disciples said, good master. He didn't let them continue. He said, why call it thou me good? There's none good but the Father. So because Farrakhan has done and is doing good for our people, that doesn't mean he should be worshiped. And sometimes false leaders, that's what they're seeking. So they might say, don't worship Farrakhan, but they would love it if the people love them like they love me.
That's right.
See, you always have to check your motives for what you do. Now, you know, when Jesus got to God, God asked him a question. Did you tell the people to take your mother and you for gods beside me? See, evidently the rumor was spreading. See, white people know that I'm loved by my people. And white people are angry that you love me. And so they will tell you, I think these people worship him. It's a cult. These are Farrakhan worshipers. No, but they're belittling you. They're saying you're stupid. They're saying that you don't know. So you follow a man blindly. That's why I said earlier, I'll teach you. But I don't tell you who to listen to, who not to listen to, where to go or where not to go. If you want to go wherever you want to go, go. Because all our life is a search for knowledge.
That's right, brother. That's right.
And knowledge is the birthright of every human being.
That's right.
So if it's contained in Reverend Willie Wilson's church, you go there. But Reverend Wilson is not telling you, don't you ever go to another church. Go where you can find knowledge. Go where you can find peace. Somebody said, well, to listen to Farrakhan, it's all doom and gloom. Well, listen to Reverend Austin. He's a beautiful pastor, but he don't have my assignment.
That's right, sir. That's right.
Wait now. I listen to him myself. And he talks nice stuff. Don't you know everybody needs nice stuff? Don't you? But that's not my assignment. I started to read this to you. Blessed is he who sent down the discrimination upon his servant, that he might be a warner to the nations. That's my assignment. My assignment ain't to give you love notes. My assignment is to warn you that your butt is about to be chastised for your foolishness. And when your behind is in the fire, you will remember what I said to you. So listen to the pastors who make you feel good. But when you come back to me, I'll always tell you, hey, did you see what God did to Sodom and Gomorrah? Do you think that's in the book for nothing? Now, I'm in love with my gay brothers and sisters, but I'm here to warn you. That behavior God don't like. The president may sign it into law. I mean, that's his business. But he's owned by those same Jews who are satanic. If I had time, I could run it down to you, but I've been here 3 hours already. But I'm going to close and tell you, meet me next week at Mosque Mariam, because you got a savior that will kill America if she kills you. Watch what I tell you. And white people know that what I'm telling you is the truth. They don't want you to believe it. I don't hate Jews. I respect Jews. But I know the evil of those who are evil Jews. They're not Jews at all. They're, like Trump says, so-called judges. These are so-called Jews. Because they say what they are not. Now let me wrap this up. Right now they're developing a patsy. For the murder of the president. These wicked people, and I'm just warning you murderers out there, you better leave Trump alone, because if you kill him, you will find revolution faster than you could think. And by the way, if you come into Chicago to get me, in the name of you looking for gangs, let me know when you're coming so I could meet you. Because I'll be damned if I'll run from you. And if God lets you kill me, I'll be the last one that you kill. I can assure you that. And all you got to do is try to kill me, and you'll find out how much I'm loved by God. So all of you haters of the president, be careful. Because I know the Zionist Jews that control you told you it was all right to say what you're saying. Because I know you. You ain't that bad. You didn't find your testicles at Walmart's. What? Tell Busta Rhymes I saw him at the Grammys. He spoke with passion, and he called Trump Agent Orange. Now all you all that don't like Trump, it's wise. I'm sorry, I'm turning my back because I got an audience behind me. That's a very important audience, but I don't like them looking at my back. I guess there's some men that like to look at your back, you know what I mean? But this ain't that kind of back, baby. This ain't Brokeback Mountain. Now, I'm gonna stop now because but I wanted to say this: be careful how you talk about the president. I talk, but I'm respectful. And if I give you courage, to speak, remember this admonition of Jesus: be wise as the serpent and humble as the dove. I'm going to continue speaking, God willing. But
the ones behind you looking at you in a big monitor in front of you up top.
oh, they're looking up top. Oh, okay. But these are my favorite people. I can't stand that they're looking really at my back, but they're not. They're looking at my front. Okay. But let me finish this. Because if anything happens to Mr. Trump, these people are going to cut loose. And who you think they're going to cut loose on first? It's us. That's why it's time to separate. Wait. They're not going to ever give you enough jobs. And they'll never grant you justice. But with President Trump, you might be able to make a deal when the chastisement of God gets so severe. We got to have land of our own. Now look, what shall you do if you can't find refuge in him and their world? Build a world of your own. You existed before there was a white man on the earth. You will exist after they're gone. If we want to take control of our communities where we live, we have to take control of education. You can't keep turning your children over to the enemy thinking he's going to make your children better than we are capable of making them. We've got scholars of every stripe that can make a curriculum for black and brown, red and yellow, and even white, that will make white people better than what they are, because the poison of white supremacy has destroyed you. Because it don't work today. You can't tell black people how great you are when we beat you in everything. Take your place. Oh, would that we had known about hidden figures 60 years ago. How more advanced would we be? But they hid it because they didn't want you to know that black women helped put the white man on the moon. So don't you look down on your beautiful black self. Look up. So in conclusion, now this is the last conclusion, believe me. In conclusion, please know that God is with you.
Yes, sir.
Please know that God has come to fight the battle for our liberation. Please know that your little pop gun that you bought is insufficient to deal with the armed might of America. But Allah can stop his planes from flying just with a little wind. And the messenger said he will sink the 6th and 7th fleet. They're going to be in a war soon. And if Mr. Trump listens to Netanyahu, they want to use you to fight America's war, but it's not America's war, it's Israel's war. And when you say, Mr. Trump, America first, ask any Jew, even your son-in-law. America is never first. Israel is always first. And as long as Israel is first, then whatever you think or plan will be in Israel before you leave the room of the White House. Mr. Trump, you have to extricate yourself from being controlled by any one of these. Now I'll leave you with this. Feed on this in your spare time. All you pastors, have you ever considered God? Do you think that America is not in God's plan? No. See, just think about it. See why you're afraid? Because you don't know what God is up to. But we do. Not because we know, but because his messenger Messiah taught us. That's how we know. In closing, where is God in Mr. Trump becoming president? If you can't find God's hand, then you're afraid. But I know his hand by his grace when I see it. Here's how I know God was involved. Look at the media. They laughing at Trump. They mock Trump. They put him on television every day. The man didn't even have to pay for an ad. And they kept questioning him so that he could say outlandish things that they thought would derail his presidency. So when they thought it would derail, it kept coming up stronger. They're confused. They did everything to destroy him, and now CNN has become the opposition party. But he's killing the media. Does the media deserve to be killed? Not killed in the sense of shooting them. See, but why my people hate me? I never did nothing to my people that they should hate me. And I never did nothing to you except tell the truth. But when you're a liar, the truth is what you fear most of all. And anybody that will speak it, you have to get rid of them. I understand. I understand. I'm willing to pay that price. I want to thank all of you for coming out to Joe Louis Arena. I want to thank you for listening. And I pray that God will show you his hand, because they never expected Trump to win. But he won against all the odds because God put him there to dismantle this house. Did you hear me? And he's doing a good job. Day by day. This is the end of this wicked society. It has destroyed nations around the earth, and now it's coming home. As Brother Malcolm said in the assassination of Mr. Kennedy, it was a case of the chickens coming home to roost. May Allah bless you all, grant you safe passage back to your places of abode. I want you to think about what we have said to you, and then watch the news and watch the weather and see how God is ripping it up. And then hide yourself. Seek refuge in Allah, because that's the only hope we have to get through the dark times that we have entered. Thank you for listening. May Allah bless you all. Assalamu alaikum.